Rusty and welcome to Rusty's Digs. As some of you may already know that subscribe to the channel, this is going to be my first time out metal detecting. Not my first time out with the CTX 3030, but my first time period. And I went to one of the local beaches down here in Southern California. And what I'd like to do is share with you a couple of the books that I read prior to this and also the websites. And then we'll go ahead and jump out and show you the dig and how that related to the Exchange 2 and how I goofed some things up. But all in all, it turned out to be a pretty fun day, and I got more than what I was expecting, that's for sure. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump right in.
The first book I looked at, Detecting Southern California Beaches by Donald Barthel, was a great book in describing each of the beaches here in Southern California and what to expect, which helped me out a lot. And the next book I looked at, Gold Beneath the Waves by Jim Brower, was a great book for techniques and where to look on the beaches. And you'll definitely see how I referenced that book in this hunt. Helped out a lot. And this is tides-forecast.com. You can find that easily on the web, but there's plenty of charts. And as you can see in the morning, just as it was kind of the other day, you hit the low tide around here. So if you come in around here, kind of chase the tide out, you may increase your chances. This is a website, you can look this up on the internet, Google, the Coastal Data Information Program. This, actually what this does is this chart goes along with each one of the beaches and combines the tide. As we had back here, you can look, see here's the tide. And what this does is show the wave height at that beach. So you can see you have certain increases depending on which way the beach faces. Also, I used this website, which is the surfline.com, which will show you the wave height, the direction, and spacing in between waves. And also you have wind forecasts, tide tables, and a little bit of weather there to help you out. So let's jump over and take a look at the beach that I jumped on right here. Your basic beach, if you look here, you have some volleyball courts and a pier and a break wall. And the thing about this area is, though, it's not that heavily used of a beach. I mean, it's just not a lot of people. So to be honest with you, I didn't expect to find too much. But the most important part right over here is the coffee shop. So I took a break over there during this. Now, this is the first half before I came back and went over to the coffee shop. This is the route that I kind of took, went down along the beach and back here. I also went up here but didn't do a geo-track on it. But when we come back later, you'll get to see where a couple of my targets that I found. Also interesting is this little check mark when you get up close and zoomed in a little bit is this 45 degrees. This will show directly overhead. This will show 45 degrees. Now, one thing I did this for is I really wanted to check and see how close. So what I did is I actually walked along this wall. And as you can see, this is a 55 barrel drum, 55 gallon barrel drum. This is a person walking right here. Cars. I was about 3 feet off of here. So this can't be more than 2-3 feet off. So it is pretty darn accurate. I was pretty pleased with that. So let's go ahead and jump on and we get to see what my first coin was. And I was actually surprised at what I found. Yeah, I'll let you see. I'm not going to tell you. And then we'll come back on here and I'll show you where a lot of the targets ended up, and I think you'll be surprised. So here we go, actually out on the first hunt, and this was it. 1344 was just screaming at me, and I was trying to learn how to use the pin pointer. So that was that got better as the day went on. So 1344, and it showed down a few inches, and I managed to nail it on the first try. Needless to say, I was pretty excited knowing that this was my first coin, and I was dropping everything. I cut part of it out where I dropped my earbuds in the sand and everything. But here it is, the famous clad rosy coin was going to be a dime, so I think I'll hang on to that one. Well, it was just about coffee time, and I decided to stop by the wall that was along there, and I was testing out to see how well the GPS worked, which was, like I said, was fairly well. But I really felt like I wasn't a metal detectorist until right now.
I got it. Check it out. That is my first. That is my first. A lot of pride in that one.
Like I said, the book Gold Beneath the Waves had some ideas about hunting on the beach, which were pretty good. And for us around here, we don't get cuts like this often, and I remember the book saying if you like digging coins until you drop, this is bonanza for you. Well, it just so happened that kind of what I expected with looking at those websites with the wind and waves and high tide and everything, that we just might get something like that. And after being out a little while and digging a bunch of clad coins, went along here and got some more clad coins, and then all of a sudden I came across this, which was a pretty strong 14, there were 13, 14, 46, 47 in there, a few inches down, and it turned out to be a little bit more than I expected. It was a pleasant surprise. Once I had checked and got it out of the hole and realized it was in the pile, I just kind of swished it over with my foot, and out that sucker popped. For me, it was like finding the world that day, because this was another first for me. A nice little 925 ruby ring. So here's a quick look on exchange 2 of my first day, and definitely only partial, because being my first day and through the excitement, I forgot to flip some switches on and didn't record everything. But this is, even though it says waypoint, I put in waypoint instead of a find point, and this is my first clad dime, actually my first dime coin ever while hunting, so that was a pretty exciting point right there. And did a quick loop, came back, unfortunately forgot to put a lot of the finds on, had some coffee, and then went back out. And if you remember, I showed that video of looking down the cut and kind of what the book was talking about, that you should find coins along that bottom part of the cut, and I would say that it was pretty accurate. Did find a couple of rings, one in here, very small rings, and the rest of the coins came in here, which I'll show you a video now of, or a couple of pictures of those finds. But anyway, please subscribe to the channel so I know somebody's out there listening, and I'll keep making videos. As I learn, I guess for beginners, hopefully this helps out somebody else, but the Exchange 2 and some of the other equipment that I got, I'll go ahead and make videos of that, and hopefully I can teach somebody, and somebody can write on here and say that's not the way to do it, try this way or whatever, and we'll hopefully all learn a little bit. Anyway, good hunting, and I'll talk to you next time on the next video.